Hello, my loves. This is me making some Sunday dinner. I made chicken breast with a tomato butter sauce, mini potatoes that were cooked in Parmesan and butter as well. Right now, I'm seasoning my chicken breast with some salt, some ginger, some garlic powder, some delicious green parsley, and some black garlic, which I found at the Mexican store. Let me tell you that black garlic was very interesting. It was the first time I came across it. It gives a really good smoky flavor. It's absolutely delicious and it has a lot of good health benefits. So if you come across it, I say pick some up for sure. Once your chicken is all seasoned and you mix everything together, you're going to want to heat up about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a skillet or a saucepan. Oh, there's that black garlic. I'm telling you guys, it's so good. All right. So while that heats up, I'm going to cut down our tomatoes for our sauce. I brought uh, Campan Campari tomatoes off the vine. I used about 12 tomatoes for my sauce. Cut them down into fours. Those are the best tomatoes I would say for the sauce. And let me tell you, after making my own sauce, I don't think I'm going to be buying store-bought spaghetti sauce anymore because this was super easy to make and I mean just flavorful. I'm going to use this sauce on so many more dishes. All right. So now our oil is hot and popping. I'm going to pop your chicken in there. Cook it on each side for about 5 to 7 minutes. If you're checking temp, I say pull it out at about 160 to 162 degrees. It's okay if it's a little undercooked because you're going to cook it up in the sauce for an additional 5 minutes. Now, that same pan we're going to use for our sauce. So we're going to let that chicken cook. And I'm cutting up some spinach, which I'm adding to my sauce. Now, that is completely optional, but I like spinach. I like the color. I like the flavor. And it brings a lot of nutritional value to your dish as well. And seeing as I'm going to be using butter in this dish, I thought I'd put something healthy in it. Those are my herbs on the side that are going to go into my sauce later. All right. So for my potatoes, I put about 2 tablespoons of butter, salted butter, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of Parmesan grated down, some of that black garlic, some garlic powder, and some parsley. And I cut my baby potatoes in half and put them in the mixture. Now you can use big potatoes, but I like the baby ones. Since our chicken is nice and cooked, I pulled it out and now I'm putting the tomatoes in the pan. You're going to want to make sure that your oil is cool before you pop the tomatoes in there because you don't want them popping in your face. And if you see all those caramelized bits in there, and I'm going to show you a picture right after of what it looks like, those caramelized bits are the bits of the cooked chicken. They're going to go into our sauce. Yeah, it adds a lot of flavor and it's just so good. It just tastes so good. Now with these tomatoes, we're going to cook them down. See, that's what I'm talking about, them caramelized bits in there. All right, we're going to cook these down and we're going to keep stirring them until they become saucy. While those are cooking, in my conventional oven, I'm putting the potatoes at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. I propped them in the broiler afterwards as well for about 5 minutes because I like my stuff extra crispy. Now when you start getting that consistency, if you are adding the spinach, I say this is a perfect time to add it. It looks a little crazy in there right now, but I promise you it's going to cook down to almost nothing in a second. Continue stirring them tomatoes because you want to get that nice saucy consistency. All right, there you go. You see how the spinach basically disappeared? All right, now you're going to keep on stirring your tomatoes and see, look at that. It's beautiful. At this point, you're going to want to add some garlic. I say about 2 tablespoons of garlic. I'm Puerto Rican, so don't mind my measuring. I used my ancestors. And besides, I like garlic, so I probably went overboard. I also added to my sauce some ginger. Ginger tastes so good when it comes to chicken, and for some reason, when it comes to this sauce, it like marries everything together. So I added a couple squeezes of the ginger. And now at this point, I'm going to add my herbs. So not only do the herbs bring fragrance, but they bring flavor, and it's just so good. So what we're adding is some rosemary, some thyme, and some basil, and it's all fresh. If you ever go to Jewel and come across something that's called the poultry kit, it has all of those in there. And they're really good for not only cooking your meat, but for cooking sauces. It's just so good for different things. So if you ever come across it, I say pick it up. As for me, I'm going to try to grow my own herbs this year because herbs are expensive for sure. Once everything is in your sauce, you're going to just give it a nice little stir, and then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. And the butter is just going to marry everything together. It's going to add the much needed salt to your sauce. So you don't need to add any salt. If you're using salted butter, it's going to do that right there for you. Now, once your butter is fully melted, you can pop your chicken back in there. And I say marinate the crap out of it because you want it to like penetrate, right? So put the chickens in there, bathe them in there, and then let them cook in the sauce for an additional 5 minutes. So here we go. We're melting up that butter. Mm-mm-mm. And there we go. You put your chickens in there. Now in my sauce, I also added some Parmesan because I love the taste of Parmesan. And I think it just adds some more flavor in the sauce as well. So you could do that. And oh my God, I wish Tic Tac had a smell option so you guys could smell this. Just the smell of the herbs, the tomato, the spinach, the chicken, the butter. It's just, oh, it's got me drooling. So good. I promise you. There I go adding the parm. Mm-mm-mm. Now my potatoes are pretty much done, so I'm about to pop them out the conventional oven at this point. And I paired everything with some broccoli because, need to add a little bit more health in there since we used a lot of butter today. Oh my, it is pretty much done. Now look at that. Buen provecho. I hope you guys decide to try this out. You will not be disappointed. Have a good one.